ADINKRA Sports Update. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that the show is about to start. We are warming up, we are warming up, we are warming up, we are warming up, we are warming up. The show is here, the show is here, the show is here. ADINKRA Sports Update. ADINKRA Sports Update. ADINKRA Sports Update. Tell a friend to 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 tell a friend that NNM is taking over the wheel. Ejuma yede.
DJ, the unstoppable.
Ejuma, Juma, Nyamye, Juma. We are warming up, 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 we are warming up. Mene ubetina na maye wajubanu ADINKRA Sports Update. ADINKRA Sports Update. We bring you nothing but the best of sports news. We bring you nothing but the best of sports update. Today is Champions League Day. Some games were played yesterday. And some games have started. We are going to bring you all these and many other news from the world of sports. Tell a friend to tell a friend that the show is about to start. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of ADINKRA Sports Update on ADINKRA TV NY and ADINKRA Radio NY. As we do every day, I am your humble host. You can call me NNM. And my name is Nina Maxwell. Now I'll be taking you through right from now till the time you get to your destination. All right. Today is another day, and we are on ADINKRA Sports Update. And then like we do every day, we have the local scenes and then we have the international front. And I'll be bringing to us headlines from the local scenes and the international front. And after that, we delve deeper into the issues and I bring to you the nitty-gritties. But guess what? Before we even start today's motivational message, I have a wonderful surprise for you. We have a guest in our midst today, bro. We have a guest in our midst. So I'm not going to be doing the talking today alone, Yeah, we have somebody to help us to dissect, trisect, and bisect the issues, Go deeper with detailed information with regards to all the news we have on the radar. All right, so today we have in our midst a wonderful guest who is a football analyst, who is a football agent, who is a specialist as far as sport is concerned, okay? I call him sir, because, those people who give you what you really want as far as, information is concerned, they are learned colleagues, so I call him sir. So today I have in my midst a wonderful man who is here to help us on the show, and I'll be introducing him to you shortly. But before the introduction, we are coming to the segment of the show where we all need in our lives. That's what I call the motivational message, the motivational message. You need it, I need it, everybody needs it, so that our works in life will be, a little bit easy for us, because sometimes you just need to be encouraged here and there for you, to move on. Yeah, as human as we are, sometimes we get weary, But this is the time, we get something small and then we move with it. So today, what I am bringing to us on the motivational message is forgiveness is divine. Forgiveness is divine. It is not easy for people to forgive, especially when what you have gone through was so traumatic and so painful. It's not that easy. Sometimes, even stigma alone, will always be triggering issues. So you find it difficult to forgive. But I want you to understand that, forgiveness is divine, such that once you forgive, you find happiness like, you can't explain. But once you forgive people, you have that feeling, that sense of like peace, some kind of peace, Yeah, before we even go deep into that, your mind is the problem. We have been thinking constant thinking. So issues that have happened over the years, we keep thinking about them. The more you think about them, the more they paint a picture. What we call emotions. Emotions are reflections of your mind in your body. What your mind thinks, then you want to show it on the outside. We also say emotions are the point where the mind and the body meet, So when your body decides to go the way of your mind, that is when we say you are emotional. So we get emotional by pondering over issues over and over again. So the more you ponder over them, the more you want to do something, But if you are able to let go, that's where your freedom starts. So it is always divine to forgive. Forgive and then get better. Forgive and then heal yourself. Some people forgive people, but they don't forgive themselves. And then they still continue wallowing in the same old situation. And some people also forgive themselves and they refuse to forgive people. If you forgive, you lay down heavy burdens over years. And then you get lighter and you are able to move the next journey with no distress, with no stress, with no problems, because you are not carrying any burden. it is good we forgive. It is good we start a new chapter of our life. It is good we let go some old issues here and there and then forge ahead. Those things impede our progress. The more we think about them, beautiful things are happening around us because we think about all the old stuff, all the old pains that we have been caused. We forget all the beautiful things that are happening around us. So we just want to move on. If you want to live life, you have to let go, and then move on. Let go. Try to forgive. We all have to try to forgive because that's all that we need to move on. If you want to move on, you got to forgive and then move on. Start on a new page. Forget all things. Move on, bro. Move on, sis. Move on. All right, so that's all for the motivational message for today. Yeah, we all need it. Sometimes it's very difficult to forgive, but sometimes, if you really want to move on, we have to let go. We really have to let go. All right, so that's all for the motivational message. And now coming back to the show. Like I was saying earlier, we have a wonderful guest in our midst. He's a football analyst, he's a football agent, and he is a football person. He's a sports person. See, not only football, everything sports. He is an epitome of everything sports, Yeah. So, not to waste much time, I introduce to you Mr. Daniel Angwa.
Thank you.
Boss, what's up?
Thank you for having me, Charlie. Ade, boss.
What's up, boss?
Ade, we just manage, taking it one day at a time. And thank you for having me here.
Oh, you're welcome.
I look forward to the discussion. It's actually a great privilege to be here. At least to be with you, to be with NNM, the great NNM. It's an honor to sit here with you to discuss everything that happened in sports over the past week. So I'm looking forward to it.
That's a man. I think he's ready. We are ready for the discussion. Over the weekend, so many happened, right? From from the Premiership to the Serie A to the La Liga to the French League. So many things happened. And then there were controversies here and there. I want to know what was your, what do you have to say about what happened over the weekend?
Well, you cannot talk about the weekend, this past weekend, without talking about the Salah magic.
Mo Salah.
The Egyptian god, King Salah. I mean, he did it. He did what no one could do.
Mo Salah.
It's unbelievable, but it's surprising how when we are talking about the best players currently, he's never mentioned.
Wow.
Like Klopp said, his coach said he's the best in the world right now, and you can't fault it. He's the best. He's the best there is. He does it week in, week out. He did it against Man City. He did it against Watford. He's doing it. He did it yesterday against Atletico Madrid, scoring the winner. So I think we cannot talk about the past weekend without talking about Mo Salah.
Cannot talk about the past weekend without talking about Mo Salah.
Yeah.
Mo Salah. Yeah, that's the man on the screen, right? Mo Salah. The Egyptian king.
Yeah.
The Egyptian king. All right. So aside Mo Salah, what else caught your eyes?
Eduardo Mendy. I mean, we all knew that Chelsea was going to beat Brentford. Brentford put up a fight. I mean, kudos to them. It was really good.
No, that classic way of
Eduardo Mendy
play, from Brentford, it's breathtaking. Like,
yes,
they went all guns blazing.
Especially the second half. No one saw it coming. I mean, Brentford against Chelsea,
going all out.
No,
they didn't care what what will happen. They were just throwing all the arsenals.
No. They didn't. I mean, but then I think the hero of the match was Brentford did well, but then the hero of the match for me, or the man of the match, would be Eduardo Mendy.
Yeah,
the African Eduardo Mendy.
Eduardo Mendy.
That he's the best.
Do you think he's underrated?
He's underrated. I mean, he didn't even get a Ballon d'Or nomination, and he performed better than every other goalkeeper in the world last season.
No, what would you give a keeper best goalkeeper in the Champions League? And you wouldn't add his name in the
Ballon d'Or list. I mean, it's surprising. Everyone is talking about it because, I mean, he's African. How many Africans get the nomination? No matter how good they are.
Well, we have Mo Salah in there.
I mean, how many? We have Mo Salah. How many? And look at the Africans that did so well. over the past years, not just Africans, even blacks. Let's start from Thierry Henry's time. Even when he went invisible with us now, he was only nominated.
Everybody thought he would win, but they gave it to Zinedine.
Yes.
But Zinedine is African.
Oh, come on. We are talking about football. He's of an Algerian lineage. But he's not African. He's naturalized for France. He plays for France.
Same thing to Thierry Henry, right?
Yes, but he's black.
Okay, you are talking about black Africans.
Yes, he's black. I mean, come on. How many blacks have won this? How many Africans? First of all, how many Africans? Aside Oponwi, I don't know of any African who has won this. And that was 1993.
I think Eto'o went as close as third.
Yes, that's same as Thierry Henry.
But Mo Salah is not black.
He's African.
Yeah.
He's black. Mo Salah is black.
Black?
Yeah, Mo Salah is black.
Real?
He's not white.
Real?
Yeah, he's African, so to speak. So yeah, I think to answer your question, Eduardo Mendy is highly underrated. He's highly underrated. Wow. The performances he gives week in, week out, keeping clean sheets. I mean,
you know, talking about Eduardo Mendy, he has had 38 Premier League appearances, 20 clean sheets ever since he joined Chelsea.
Chelsea, yeah.
It's
insane. And mind you, he joined from nowhere. No one knew Eduardo Mendy. If you look at his career stats, like from a 3rd division team or 4th division team, and then all the way.
I think 5 years ago he was nearly clubless.
Yes, he was clubless. He had to start from scratch 5 years ago, and mind you, he's 29 years old now. So that was when he was 25. In today's football, when you hit 25, you are hitting your peak. So if from 25, 26 you're unable to do anything, then it means you are retiring. But this is someone who at the age of 24, 25, 26, he was nearly, as you said, clubless. But then started from scratch, and now he's the best goalkeeper the world has ever seen. Not the world has ever seen. Right now.
Currently, he's the best.
I mean, Manuel Ankoma is doing well, but then if you look at Manuel Ankoma, the whole Bayern Munich team is doing well. So yes, it's a collective thing.
Yeah.
But then, even when Chelsea isn't playing to their best, just like last weekend, Mendy is there to save them.
You know, keepers keep clean sheets. Well, sometimes it's from the efforts of defenders. You know, some of the defenders,
definitely,
prevent the ball from getting to the goalkeeper. But this is a keeper. Even after the defenders have been beaten, he's there to. You have him to beat.
You still know that well. So, yeah, as you're saying, when
he's not just organizing the defensive organization alone as a goalkeeper. It's another good attribute of goalkeepers if you are able to organize your defense very well. But he's a stopper as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's a shot stopper. Shot stopper.
That guy.
We could go on and on and on and talk about Eduardo Mendy. I mean, you know me. I am no Chelsea fan. I hate Chelsea to every bit. But then, I mean, you can hate Chelsea however much you want. But then, you can't hate Eduardo Mendy.
Wow.
You cannot hate Eduardo Mendy. But then, I want to make a point. Quite controversial. You talked about Eduardo Mendy organizing his defense, and it's a good attribute of a goalkeeper. Good goalkeeper. Most goalkeepers don't do that. But then, I don't know if you're going to agree with me, but then this new Arsenal lad, Aaron Ramsdale.
Yeah.
He came from nowhere. People actually abused him when he signed, because if you looked at the stats from before joining Arsenal, there was nothing to
he had taken 2 teams to relegation.
Yes. Every team he went to, he took them to relegation.
So was it because he couldn't organize the defense very well?
Or but that's the point.
They were not having good defenders? Or he was not performing?
I think it would be the teams he played in. But then look at his Arsenal stats. It's great. And then if you've seen how he he organizes defense, it's magnificent. And how he encourages them. After even when the ball doesn't get to him and a defender clears the goal line, how he goes to the defender and then jubilates, celebrates as if it's a winning goal. It shows how, like, an attribute of a good keeper. So I think Aaron Ramsdale, even though he's not there yet, I think he's getting there, and that's why Arteta made him his number 1 choice now, and benching his number 1 choice.
Yeah. Ben Leno.
Yeah, Ben Leno. So yeah.
All right.
So that was just
talking about what do we call it? Eduardo Mendy. Talking about Eduardo Mendy. You know, in the Champions League alone, he has played 12 games, and he has kept 9 clean sheets.
9 out of 12.
9 out of 12.
How many keepers do that?
Yet his name is not included in the Ballon d'Or nominees list.
See, it's just because he's African. Trust me, if Mendy were to be European,
Barella and them still made the list.
If Mendy were to be European, I mean, so the thing is, in football, in soccer, the odds are against goalkeepers. Goalkeepers rarely win awards like Ballon d'Or, etc. Goalkeepers rarely win it, even midfielders or defenders. I think last time a defender won was Cannavaro in 2002. That's when a defender won, if my memory serves me right. You get even midfielders. How many midfielders win it? It's either a striker scoring goals.
Oh, sorry, not to cut you. Do you know Manchester United is trailing by 2 goals?
Now? I was just
right
checking
now, Manchester United is playing at home and they are trailing by 2 goals.
Against Atalanta. 29 minutes. Wow.
Come on. What's wrong with United? Let's go straight to United.
United is in crisis.
What's wrong with United?
United is in crisis. So they thought Ronaldo would be the savior. Ronaldo is scoring the goals, but what about the team? They do not have any formidable defensive midfielder. Fred is good, right? Fred is good moving forward, but Fred is not the defensive midfielder United needs. Okay, they might convert Pogba into a defensive midfielder from time to time, but that is not what he does. Pogba moves forward, and now Ole has the players, but he doesn't know where to put them. He doesn't know how to use them. Ronaldo is not the Ronaldo we knew 10 or 8 years ago, where he could single-handedly carry the team. You must build it around Ronaldo. You must find players who will supply him and he will score. But then Ole isn't doing that. And for me, I was reading an article this morning on my way here, and then I actually agree with what the author said, that Ole went in for Ronaldo to beat Manchester City at signing him, because benching him against Everton had everything. I mean, it showed me everything I needed to see. That you need to win against Everton to go on top of the team, on top of the league, and then you bench him. And now Ole is unable to organize a United team. I mean, United is in crisis. He's in crisis. He has the players. He has the talent. I mean, Fernandes, Pogba, Rashford, Ronaldo, all these players. He has the talent, but he doesn't know how to organize them. And I think it's about time he benched Maguire. I mean, unpopular opinion, but Harry Maguire, I think it's about time Ole started benching him.
Okay, with regards to Ronaldo, concerned Ronaldo, do you think Manchester United really need Ronaldo? They really needed Ronaldo during the transfer window. Do you think Ronaldo should have been
the main man?
Do you think they really needed him?
No, United didn't need Ronaldo. I mean, they didn't need Ronaldo.
Because what I'm saying is that, things have changed now. Football, not even football, modernism has taken over, such that, at first when you are a young footballer, you want to believe that maybe lately or around 25, 26, you'll be on your peak, and then you'll try to win Champions League, maybe one Champions League too. But the Chelsea lads have shown that you don't need to get to that age.
Yes.
They have shown that maturity is no more inversely proportional to age. They are directly proportional.
Yeah. I mean,
as young as age 20, Reece James has won the Champions League.
He has. Look at the Chelsea.
As young as age 22.
Apart from Thiago Silva. And who else is actually even that? Maybe, how old is Jorginho? He's in his mid-20s.
Yeah.
You get it? So the Chelsea team actually showed what you're saying, that maturity is not just in age. But then, the last did it. They did it. Reece James, as you said, this man,
Mason Mount,
Tammy Abraham.
Oh,
come on.
You see, this Ghanaian chap.
The one who made the president. I was just about to mention his name. After I mentioned Tammy Abraham, he just
all of these guys were there. Even Kovacic is not that.
No, he's not.
All of these guys, they are young chaps that Chelsea used with just a few inclusions of some experience here and there. Thiago Silva, Azpilicueta, and Rudiger. Rudiger is around 26 years. Christian Eriksen is around 24 years, 25 years. So they blended a few experience with a lot of talent, and then they got the results. You see Mason Mount, you see Christian Pulisic, you see Hudson-Odoi, you see all of this. Those young chaps who are hungry for success, you blend them with a little bit of experience, and then they do the job for you. As simple as that. Because going for Cristiano Ronaldo, who was 30, I think he's 36 now, right?
Yeah, he's in his 36.
Who was 35 by then? Now he's 36 years old. He's not a defender. They make a case for Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva is not a winger. He doesn't run. He's just a defender. So, he can easily control things, here and there. But Ronaldo cannot give you the Ronaldo you knew some years
that's
back.
what I'm saying. The thing is, no matter how old Ronaldo is, he will score the goals. But him alone cannot carry the team. Ronaldo will score the goals. So you just need to supply him. He did it in Real Madrid. He did it in Juventus, even when he was 35 years old. He scored. He was one of the top scorers. But then you need to get the players to play behind him, rally behind Ronaldo. Okay, so if
I've seen times and times again when Mason Greenwood would get the ball and he wouldn't even pass the ball to Ronaldo because he feels he can score.
Yeah.
Time and time and again. So after the game on Saturday, was what Paul Pogba said. We deserve to lose, to be honest. We have been having these kind of games for a long time. We have not found a problem. Conceding easy goals, stupid goals. We need to be more mature. Play with more experience and arrogance in a good way. We need to find something. We need to change. We need to find the right mentality and the right tactic. Stick with it and resolve the problem. So it's clear that he has shared the problem to everybody. Everybody is involved, including the coach, because he made mention of right tactics and then sticking to the tactics.
Okay. Speaking of that, so what's happening to Lukaku?
Well, we'll get to Lukaku, but let's finish with.
But he just got sacked. He just got injured. It's just an update for our listeners.
It's just an update.
Yeah.
Oh, Lukaku is injured.
Yeah, he's injured. So he's been sacked before the first half would end. So yeah, that's just an update for our listeners.
Well, we'll come back to Lukaku because Lukaku, there is an issue about Lukaku that Tuchel is not using him the way he should.
I mean, we'll come back to it. We'll come back to that.
So Paul Pogba said this, and I think he included everybody as part of the United problem.
Mm-hmm.
That was what he said. The playing body, and then the technical body. And he has accepted that they are not playing well. And he has also been so honest that they are not getting the best from the technical team.
Mm.
So does it mean that Ole is gradually losing the?
Well, yeah, he only came out, was it yesterday or 2 days ago, to speak against I think Jamie Carragher's criticism of him, and says that he likes what he's doing. He only thinks he's doing well, but then the results don't show that. He's performing badly, but he thinks he's doing well. Okay, so it's and then Pogba saying that clearly there's something going on in the dressing room that we are not privy to, that we don't know about. But then we'll find out very soon. I mean, I don't know if he's losing the dressing room, but for a player to come out to say that they are not getting what they need from the technical team, then it's clearly some sort of issues in the dressing room. I think he still hasn't had his first 11 yet. He still hasn't had where to play who. I mean, maybe Ronaldo, fine, and then a couple of other players or defenders, but then he still doesn't know who to put behind Ronaldo and Rashford to play. So, well, we'll see. In the next couple of weeks, we'll see.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. You are still watching ADINKRA Sports Update on ADINKRA TV NY and ADINKRA Radio NY. So now, those were just, touches of what happened over the week. And then now, we are going to go into the local scene and then see what is happening in the local scene. And in the local scene is no other team, the glorious Accra House of Folk, the Intercontinental Club Masters. That's glorious Accra House of Folk. They are on the battlefield. They played the first leg of the CAF Champions League game against WAC of Morocco last Sunday. And then the second leg is coming up this Saturday, the 24th of October 2021. I think I got the news that Accra House of Folk is already in Morocco because they want to get acclimatized to the weather and everything over there, just to make sure if there are even coronavirus issues, they'll take care of the issues before anything. Because you know what happened when the Moroccans got to Ghana, their coach and the assistant coach tested positive for the coronavirus, so unfortunately they were not on the bench. So I knew maybe they would think Accra House of Folk were the people behind it, but they didn't ask you to stay up, to be unhealthy or to be careless. They didn't, it is protocol, it is international protocol, Once you get into any country, you are supposed to be tested, we have to make sure you are negative. So that was what happened. So Accra House of Folk are already in Morocco And then the game will be coming on this Saturday. Already Accra Folk are 1-0 advantaged. So we are hoping Accra Folk will get the results. All right. So, Mr. Angwa, so what are chances of Accra Folk in this return encounter?
Well, I would say it's high. For me, I would say it's high. And it's good they went in earlier to acclimatize themselves with the conditions of Morocco. Because over the past years, the North American teams find ways of sabotaging players from other sub-Saharan African countries who go there to play. Sometimes they will just wet the field. Sometimes they will just create some ailment, something. And then it's not far-fetched to say that they are going to conjure some coronavirus positive test against the Accra Folk team. So it's good they went in early to get all of that done. And then also, even if you look at Accra Folk played really well over the weekend. I think they did really well.
Leg,
yes,
right?
They did well. They came up 1 goal advantage. They did well. And I think that's when they lost their left back, Raddi.
Yeah, Raddi Ovuka.
Yes, but news that I got this morning is that he trained this morning actually. He trained and then he will be fit for the next leg. So you can see that that's actually good.
Hopefully.
Yeah, one of the things that made it difficult for Accra Folk over the weekend was his injury. It changed the whole game plan. But now that he's back, it means the Phobians would go back to their normal game plan, and then I think they have an advantage. And then it's going to be played behind closed doors. Not necessarily closed doors, but you were telling me before we got on air that the Moroccans will have 5,000 fans, while Accra Folk has 2,000 fans. But trust me, Accra Folk, 2,000 fans for Accra Folk is louder, or would be louder than 5,000 fans of every team.
Do you think 2,000 fans will even go there?
I doubt. Yeah, just a few. I doubt. Maybe a few chapters.
Just a few chapters.
Yeah, maybe a few Phobian chapters would go. But then, trust me, I mean, with the Jama alone, I don't think the fans would make any difference. Usually, North American teams tend to make things difficult for other teams when they go there to play. But hopefully, this will be the situation. But even if it is, I mean, Accra Folk has done this several times. They've gone there to play several times, so they are experienced. So I'm hoping that it will come up.
No, they did it against Etoile before. Even Esperance of Tunisia.
And the score will be 2-1 for Accra Folk.
That's your prediction. You are giving the predictions already.
2-1 for Accra Folk.
Yeah. All right. So let's look at the game. The first leg. You know, if you look at the first leg, you know, you could see that this Moroccan team came with a game plan because they knew it's a two-legged affair. So the first leg really matters because if you're able, at least if they should get a goal.
Yeah.
Away is going to boost their chances of qualifying to the next stage. So when they came, if you had watched the game from the early stages of the game, you will see that they wanted an early goal.
Yeah.
So immediately the whistle started, they were just pressing,
attacking.
They kept pushing and pushing them. So from the first 20 minutes, they were just attacking like something.
Yeah, I think that's what
attack after attack. So when Accra Folk, you know, they had even a couple of chances that they could have even scored. But after the 20 minutes, you could see that they had exhausted all their energy and stuff.
Now they had to sit back.
They had to sit back. So it means if they had gotten the first goal,
that would be it.
That would be the end.
Yeah.
That would be the end.
And then, you see, that's what I think the Phobians should do when they go to Morocco. They shouldn't sit back and then try to defend the one goal. They have to at least try to get an early goal. Or a first half goal. That will give them an advantage because that's the away goal, as you said. So what I think the Phobians should do is to press. First 20 minutes, keep pushing. First 20 minutes, keep pushing. Try to get an early goal. Even if not an early goal, in the first half, try to score a goal in the first half. That gives you an advantage. So whatever the Moroccans are going to play, they are going to play to equalize. You get. So that's what Accra Folk should do, and I think that's what they'll do.
Because
they have what it takes.
Usually, Ghanaian teams don't have good starts. Like even in the national team.
That's what I was saying.
Even if the national team, when we go to tournaments, you know, we don't really have a good start.
Yeah.
But as the tournament progresses, you see us really performing. But this is no time for understating anymore because they have come to Ghana, we have understated them, and we know how they play. So I think Accra Folk has to go all out this time around, even though with a bit of caution, you know. Because, you know, these people want to get, you know, they'll go.
Trust me.
They'll go all guns.
If they score, right, they are going to defend to teeth. They are going to arm their defense to teeth. If they score first, if Accra Folk allows these guys to score the first goal or first two goals, they are going to give Accra Folk trouble. They're going to defend. And you know their style of playing. They would waste time. North American style of play. That's it. They waste time. Whether in the CAF Champions League or African Cup of Nations, they would waste time. So Haas doesn't have to give them that opportunity at all. They shouldn't.
Well. So this is for Accra House of Folk, because this team. Well, and then they have the luxury of their coach and the assistant at the bench this time around.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Even though they are supposed to be isolated for 2 weeks because it's just a week.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's in their country. They could say
they will abuse.
Yeah. And when they came to Accra, they didn't have their coach and assistant coach on the bench, but now they are going to have them. So that's another added advantage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then have you noticed something about Coach Samuel Buedo? I think he should be careful. Chelsea, Heart of Folk had some chances, some penalty chances, some chances. Everybody knew. For me, even if any layman who was the referee on that day would have whistled for penalty.
I think it was lucky.
But the referee, for reasons best known to him, he decided to let it go. But Coach Samuel Buedo was so furious and he was given the yellow card. Don't you think you should be cautious of it? Because
that's what
this Africa, look at what happened.
That's why I say he was lucky. Because coaches get furious all the time. I mean, look at Diego Simone. I mean, Mourinho. They get furious all the time. But this is a crucial moment that his team needs him. Okay, so the least mistake, if he's shown a red card, I think it's going to go against the team, and it's going to go against the chance of Accra for qualifying to the next stages. So he has to be really careful.
Wow. So this is for you, Coach Samuel Buedo. We need it. We need you. Like I said the other time, we really need you. Playing Africa, the coaches play like 35 to 40% of the whole entire game. So if the coach is sanctioned, it becomes so difficult for the team. The coaches and the players have some kind of chemistry.
Yeah.
So if you are not at the bench, anyone who comes there has a different thing to give altogether. So the players understand you understand the players. So we just want you to comport yourself and then be calm, and then let your players also be calm. We are only going there for the victory. That's what we are going there for. The victory. The victory is very, very important. That is what we are going there for. All right. So over the week, we'll come back to the Champions League games. When we get to the European, the international front, there was this speculations on air that Coach Milo doesn't really like the local goalkeepers, because no matter how well you are playing as a local goalkeeper, I don't know if it's only Coach Milo, like the Black Star coaches. I think the only local goalkeeper I think in recent time they used was Sam Eje. Even for him, Richard Ole Kingston took his spot at the end.
Yeah, but there was this other. Come on. Oh no, there was one other goalkeeper who
recently, right?
His name will come to me. Over the past couple days, his name will come to me.
What was on air was Coach Milo went past Ghanaian goalkeepers, and then he used a goalkeeper who is playing a third tier, a third tier, in the shape of Jojo Wollacott.
Yes. You see, if that is their argument, then it's flawed. I mean, I don't say he shouldn't go in for local keepers, but then if their argument is that Jojo is playing a third tier league, then it's flawed, because our captain is playing in Saudi Arabia, for crying out loud. Our captain is playing in, I believe even the team is playing, even if it's first tier team there, if it goes to England, it'll probably like third tier or fourth tier. So it doesn't change there, and he's still our captain. And even before going there, he was playing second tier, Swansea. Yeah, so I think what we should focus on stats. But then Jojo's stats, I'm not really privy to his stats, but then so far what he's done in the Black Stars, he's played and he's considered just one, and it was not through open play, it was from a penalty. So far it's good. But I also think because what Milo is doing is he's building the team from scratch. Okay, he's building the team because the Black Stars coach, the Black Stars team. Black Stars lost their Ghanaians lost their trust in Black Stars. The love they have for Black Stars was all gone. But now every coach that comes now is just trying to build a team.
Courtesy our local coaches.
Exactly, trying to do that. So I think we should just observe what he's doing. It's early days yet. This keeper, Jojo hasn't done anything wrong for us to chastise him and then say he's not that good. I'm not saying Milo should be using this time to test. We want to go to the tournament. We want to go to the World Cup. We want to qualify. Okay, but then also the qualifying stages is where you prepare your team for the World Cup. Okay, so I think we should just pump the brakes and then see where Jojo is going. So far, I think he's been impressive, somewhat impressive. He's been okay. He hasn't been that bad. So I don't see why people are calling out at Milo. But then when you say it's been a trend where local goalkeepers are barely including the Black Stars. It's been a trend for years, and it's not about Milo. Milo, when he was there before leaving, he did it. Every other coach that came before and after him did it. Okay, so I don't think it's a Milo thing. I think it's a trend that has been set over and over again. And we tend to believe that once a player plays in a foreign league, an international league, or as we call goes pro international, then he or she is better than those who play local. That's not the case. It's just that they have the exposure and experience. Because if you play in the international scene, it's easier for you to acclimatize the World Cup conditions. Because the international weather and all of that. Okay, so these are some of the conditions that coaches consider. Okay, not just that. There was a joke that I'm not going to mention the player's name, and I definitely know it's not true. But then in 2006, when Ghana played Brazil, there's a joke. I'm not going to mention the player's name, but then there's a joke that we used to make in Newtown that there's this player, and when he was asked to warm up, okay, on the touchline, Ronaldinho was about to take a free kick, and then he stopped and they just started watching Ronaldinho's boot. Okay, I mean, this is a joke, but then I'm just saying that sometimes, and he was a local player, so sometimes you see some of these things.
Boots. Was he not wearing a boot?
He was, but then he just was wearing. I mean, this is Ronaldinho. I would watch him out. I'll just stop everything and watch him, even on the field. Okay, but the point I'm trying to make is that sometimes the coaches prefer international players, which I'm not saying is right, because of the experience or the exposure they get. Okay, I mean, there are local players who would perform way better than international players, but sometimes these are some of the factors that coaches consider. So yeah.
Milo came out after he heard what was going on. He said his ears are on the grounds, and then he also wants to be part of whatever these things that are happening in the country, you know. So he said he heard what people were saying, and he said clearly that he is not responsible for the selection of goalkeepers. Yes, he's part of the appointments here and there, you know, but they have goalkeeping scouts, which is led by the goalkeepers trainer, Olele Kingston. So after a series of training sessions here and there, we have so many keepers. I think we have Richard Atta, we have Dan Ladd of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, and then we have Lawrence Atizegi over there, and then we also have Jojo Walcott. Richard Kingston was the goalkeepers trainer, and after a series of training with these lads, he decided to go for Jojo Walcott. So he said he doesn't select the goalkeeper, but it is Richard Kingston who selects the goalkeeper for the game.
Yeah. You see, the thing is, so every team has a goalkeeper's trainer. And the goalkeeper's trainer would recommend to the coach that I think this keeper is in a better position to play in this game than the other keepers. And then the coach would make his decision based on that. The coach has the... he could disregard the goalkeeper's trainer's decision. But then that's the goalkeeper's trainer. He works with the keepers closely. He knows which keeper is best fit to be in goal. Okay, so what the goalkeeper's trainer says is what the coach is likely to take, and it's true. So Milo is definitely right.
All right, so Milo is definitely right, but I also think that we have so much quality players who are playing in the lower divisions.
Yeah, we do.
You know, the fact that you are playing in the Premier Division doesn't mean you are better than some lads who are playing in the local.
Let me tell you about this guy, Benjamin Tete.
Benjamin Tete
plays in.
I think he played in the under-17, right?
Yes, he did. He played.
He was the striker.
That
time. Yeah.
It wasn't under 20.
Under 20. Yeah.
It wasn't. He didn't score many goals. He came under criticism, etc. But
that is what happens to our players when a player comes and then he didn't really.
You see, at the time,
we just killed them.
If you followed Benjamin Tete or knew him very well, you know he's a great striker. He's a clinical striker. Like his structure, everything is clinical. He would once he sees the goal, he's poaching and he's likely to score. And I mean, at that time, in conversation with him, he was having a tough time. That on the side, but now he plays in the Turkish league, and then he plays in a smaller team, so-called smaller team, Yeni. Yes, and then what he's done is the whole team now this season, the whole team has 9 goals, right? He scored 4 out of the 9.
Wow, so like he has scored like 40% of the goals.
The whole team has 9 goals. He has scored 4 out of 9. He's played eight games and scored 4
games, yeah.
Yes, do you get it? And so he's good, but then people might think, oh well, he doesn't play in the Chelsea's or even in Turkey, he doesn't play for Fenerbahce, etc. So he's not supposed to be picked. Do you get? So that's the mindset that most Ghanaians and most people have. Just as you said, because someone doesn't play in the lower, upper, so-called upper teams or premier teams, the person's not good. But there's so much quality in the lower division teams.
So much quality. So much quality. So much quality. So much quality. All right. So next. So I think basically this is what we have for the local scenes because nothing really is happening.
The league hasn't started yet, so
I know our league is yet to start on the 29th of October. So all that is happening on the local scenes are pre-season games here and there, match and there. Kotoko is still in Dubai. Kotoko will be coming back on Friday. That is coming Friday. They will come back to Ghana. You know, I heard they wanted to play another friendly, but it was postponed, or I think it was cancelled. It was cancelled. So they will be coming back to Ghana on Friday, and then they continue the preseason until the season starts. Already they have made a lot of signings. You know, Kotoko has signed a lot of players, and Kotoko is now going the modern way because they want young talent. Young talent. You know, Professor Prosperity, you know, he's an expert when it comes to grooming these young talents.
Players,
you know,
he
was with Wafa, and then he has been.
And before we leave the local scene, the league hasn't started yet, but there's someone that I want our listeners, I want Ghanaians to look out for. Manuel Ankoma. He just got signed by Bichem Chelsea.
Manuel Ankoma.
Yes, he just got signed by Bichem Chelsea. No one knows him. He's from a 2nd division or 3rd division tier team in Ghana. Manuel, this guy, his stature, he's just 20 years, and he's so good.
What's his position?
Right back.
Back.
But he's versatile that he plays defensive midfield as if he's a defensive midfielder. Wow. He plays central defense as if he's a central defender. But he is, as a matter of fact, a right back. Moving forward, he is so great and defending. And this is someone that I want Ghanaians to really look out for or watch out for.
Manuel Ankoma.
Yeah, he just got signed by Bichem United, sorry.
Bichem United.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So Manuel Ankoma is the man we have to look out for from our sports analyst. All right. So I think that's all for the local scenes. You know, we are all hoping, fingers crossed, we are praying, all rallying behind Accra House of Folk to go and then get the results for Mother Ghana. Like I said the other time, yes, you might have your team that you support. Yes, you know, we have some people who want to be so patriotic to the fabulous fraternity. They are there, yes, but this time it is no more Accra House of Folk.
Ghana.
It is Ghana.
I mean, fabulous.
It is Ghana, you know.
I'm a fabulous supporter. But this time around it's about Ghana, not Kotoko or Haas.
So have you heard the fabulous man? Yeah, this time around it's about Ghana, not Haas or Kotoko. Already we have lost our slots.
Yeah.
You know, we used to have 2 for the Champions League and 2 for the Confederation. Now we have 1-1.
Yeah.
You know, and then the other one for the Confederation is if you get the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the slot we have now. So we want Accra House of Folk to be able to qualify.
And the more we move forward, the more we get, the more slots.
So that we get our slots back. It's going to do Ghana a lot of good. So even next year, if we should have Accra House of Folk and Kumasi and Kotoko representing Ghana in the Champions League, that's going to be awesome, right? Very, very awesome. You know, we have, let's say, Midiama and then Brekum Chelsea or Ediana at the Confederations. You know, either way, it's going to do us a lot of good. So Accra House of Folk will be playing come Saturday. Fingers crossed. We are all rallying behind them. Hopefully, they are going to make us proud as Ghanaians. All right. So now from the local scenes, we are going to delve into the international front. And at the international front, this week is a Champions League week. It started yesterday. Wonderful, wonderful games of football were played yesterday.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So many surprises, you know. So many surprises. So many surprises happening here and there. But well, now the trends have changed. No, that's football.
Oh, yeah.
There are no small teams.
Every game feels like a final.
There are no small
Every
teams.
game feels like a final.
Just look at the game against PSG and Leipzig yesterday. PSG and Leipzig.
You see, the thing is, yesterday, the drama, the comebacks, the goal galore, 35 goals last night. 35 goals last night. In last night's Champions League fixtures. 35 goals.
35 goals.
35 goals.
Wow.
35 goals. And the comebacks. Just look at it. Just look at, I mean, we are talking about Leipzig and PSG. Look at Atletico Madrid and Liverpool. 2-0
At the point that
two nil
Madrid
up.
were 2-0 down.
Griezmann's brace brought it to level 2-2, and then
The red card.
yeah, and then 3-2 Liverpool won. I mean the drama that you couldn't even see how the game is going. It was fluid. I mean,
Sporting went to Besiktas to beat them by 4 goals to 1.
4-1. And then Madrid put on a Brazilian show, Brazilian samba.
Yeah.
The Brazilian lads were just
That guy,
Vinny and
Vinicius
Rodrigo.
Jr.
Yeah, Vinny is on form this season. This season is his season.
Look at the goal he scored.
It's his season now. You know, it's been a long way coming. Vinny has always been good. Madrid fan here, you know me. You know, but then I've never been a fan of Vinny. But now I think Vinicius Jr. is doing what has been expected of him for the past 2 or so years. Because he drives forward, but there's no output.
The
He
final,
drives forward, but when he gets to the final third, then he misses it. But now Vinny is converting almost all his chances. And then let's talk about Benzema. The older he gets, the better he gets.
You know, like wine, like
Fine wine.
fine wine. The older the better.
Yeah,
Right?
you know. So Madrid, this time I think they are in good position. Last season was very bad for Madrid, but this time, and then it's even surprising how they actually lost players. They lost Sergio Ramos, but yet they are yeah. And last, I mean, they won by 5 goals. Yeah, it was a good fixture also. I didn't expect them to win that much goals, but then it was indeed a good fixture. And I also expected Lionel Messi to hit his first hat-trick after scoring a brace. But then he allowed Mbappe. You know, it tells you how football has changed. Football is no more seniority or I'm a big player. You came to meet someone. If you come to meet an 18-year-old lad in a team and he's performing, that's his role. He's going to take it.
Yeah.
Okay, he's going to take
No
the
wonder
role.
Mason Greenwood is not allowing Ronaldo to.
Exactly.
No, he wouldn't pass the ball.
Not
to
even
Ronaldo.
that. Even look at the was it against West Ham? United against West Ham when they lost. Fernandes missed the penalty, the last minute penalty. I mean, everyone expected Ronaldo to take it, but then Fernandes is the penalty taker, the shooter for Manchester United. So he took it when everyone expected Ronaldo to, but Ronaldo went to meet him there, so he had to oblige. You know, so football has changed. But then I was hoping that Mbappe would allow Messi to hit his first hat-trick, but then he also wants to get his goals. You know, at least who knows, he might be.
But well,
again,
Mbappe said Messi said he should play.
Oh, okay.
Well, we said he was supposed to take the first one because he was the one taking it.
Oh yes. Okay.
And then
Well,
he
yes.
allowed
Because
Messi,
exactly. Yeah.
and then Messi scored.
also allowed
So
him
when
to
the
take.
second one came, he said Messi told him to play because he plays it.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah, and it makes sense.
Well, so that was, but it was a narrow win for PSG because
It was a narrow
even
win.
that equalizer was just unpardonable mistake from the Leipzig player. You know, we don't do such
you don't
mistakes.
do that thing. Against PSG. Come on, no. Don't do
know.
that against PSG.
You don't do
Don't
when
do
you
that
have
against
Messi and Mbappe
Don't do that against PSG.
surrounding you, and then you come on. You don't do that. No, you don't do that. You don't do that. So yesterday we had Club Brugge losing to Manchester City by 5 goals to 1, and we also had PSG winning RB Leipzig by 3 goals to 2. And Atletico Madrid losing to Liverpool by 2 goals to 3. We have FC Porto winning
Borussia Dortmund. What went on?
by 1 goal to 0. And then Ajax, really, for me,
4-0.
it's not like what went on Borussia Dortmund. This Ajax team is starting something new. What they did some years back,
ago,
they have started
Madrid
something
apart.
new.
Tore Juventus
They
apart.
have started something new. I think we have to give them a close look. Because this Ajax team, look at that Halle. I think he was in the. He was at. Is it Newcastle?
You see, the
He
thing
couldn't
is,
thrive over there.
that's what I'm about to say. The thing is that Ajax scout the job they are doing. Because these are players, just like this player I mentioned, these are players that no one actually even looks at them.
Halle has 6 goals.
But they go to Ajax and they are
In his
all of a sudden
Champions
top
League
class.
debut season, 6 goals so far in the group stages.
Well, PSG. I mean, not PSG. Borussia Dortmund. Hopefully, they could do something there in the return leg.
You know, Haaland. We saw the Haaland, but I think he was unlucky on the day.
He wasn't unlucky. Ajax didn't give him the chance.
He hit the post and then the bar.
Yes, but then
you know it was
okay. Yes, but
and he had a couple of chances that
how
the keeper stopped.
Haaland is a bully. He's a bully striker. One of like a bully striker. But then Ajax defenders stood up against him. Okay, they stood their ground and they didn't give him that chance. I mean, he got a few chances, hit the post, missed a few chances. Keeper made a good save here and there. But then the Haaland we know, he did what he could do. Haaland played he did what Haaland does. But then the Ajax players came on top.
So do you think now the defenders are beginning to get how to handle bully strikers? Because now Lukaku is no more the Lukaku we used to
Well,
be. Now Haaland was out yesterday, even though he had a couple of shows here and there. But are we saying, because look at the way Manchester City is playing without there is movement up front, no arrowhead, so it makes it so difficult for you to mark these guys.
Yes.
So
there's no striker for you to say I'm going to mark. I mean, they are fluid, they are moving interchangeably, they just move everywhere. So if you want to mark a striker, you might end up following that striker to the other end, creating space for another player to come and score. So that's how Man City is playing. So Man City is not playing the usual traditional one top striker like Chelsea is doing, Haaland, etc.
And that has made them look so dangerous. Because you don't know where the goals are coming from.
Yeah.
You don't know where the goals are coming from. That was one of the reasons I think Lukaku is not thriving at Chelsea, because last season, up front, it was interpositional play by the Chelsea players. You see Christian Pulisic moving into
somewhere
space,
else.
Werner into space, what's that guy? Kai Havertz into space, sometimes Mason Mount. So now that they have an arrowhead, I think they are failing to get the fact that there is an arrowhead. We have to play to suit his style.
Yes, the thing is, they give him the chances, but I mean, you see, the thing is,
Lukaku doesn't get the balls. He doesn't get the passes
because the players are marking him now. Because EPL isn't the other leagues. Come on, you could even go to play Stoke in the FA or Carabao, and they will still mark you accordingly. You get it? Because Lukaku's play has been just one way, that he will stand, get the ball, bully the player, turn, and then maybe pass or shoot and score.
But Conte thinks otherwise, because he thinks Chelsea are restricting Lukaku. Because if you look at Lukaku in Inter or at Inter, he sometimes moves deep into midfield, gets the ball from midfield, starts the transition from midfield. He's very powerful. So as he starts the transition, the ball goes back wide. You see him moving with a lot of force. He's so strong. You can't stop him.
But that's what I'm saying. Okay. In EPL, someone, even when you get to midfield, someone will mark you from midfield. Okay, so they won't even give you the chance to move further.
We saw typical Lukaku display against Arsenal.
I mean, come on, that was that's what I'm saying. That was the first game or first 2 games. Now people have learned. If that game were to be maybe the 6th game of the season or something, Lukaku didn't have performed that how he did. Okay, and then I mean, Pablo Mari, come on, Pablo Mari.
Lukaku can easily bully him.
Exactly, I would bully Pablo Mari. Pablo Mari, sorry. Okay, so and that was I think that was the 2nd game of the season. But now players have known how to, and even in the return leg against Arsenal, if Mari plays again, he would be able to handle Lukaku, because his play has been one way. As you said, he's been restricted one way. Okay.
Well,
I mean, this is EPL. You can't just score the first 2 games and say you are king. No. He's not even the curve yet. Mind you, he's not even the curve yet. He hasn't even hit December and he's already lost. You get it? This is EPL, mind you.
Coming into the EPL, he was the best player in Serie A.
He thought so, yeah. So he thought he could do that. And
he was the best player. We have the best player in Serie A, and then the best defender in Syria are in the English Premier League, and they are struggling.
Yeah, I mean, Premier League is different. The
And
Premier
they are
League is different.
struggling.
What did Kai Havertz say when he came to Chelsea first? He says that the strength, the energy of the Premier League, he can't meet it. He can't beat it. He can't match up to that energy. When he came, if you remember, was it last season or so? When he came, he said it. He wasn't performing, and now he is. So it will take some time. And then the thing is, Lukaku, he put so much pressure on him. He put so much pressure on him. I am coming to do this. He felt like he's sort of Chelsea savior. I've done it here, so I want to do it here also. I came to Chelsea before, I didn't perform. Now I want to come back and then perform. So he put so much pressure on him, and all eyes are on him. Every defender is on him now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, after 50 minutes of game played, it's still 0-0 between Benfica and Bayern Munich. Manchester United is still trailing by 2-0. We have Chelsea is leading now by 3-0 against Malmo FF. Zenit and then Juventus are still goalless. And then FC Barcelona earlier won by a lone goal against Dynamo Kiev. So that's the update we are bringing to you as the program progresses. All right. So still at the international front. I think, was it some 2 days ago, Arsene Wenger brought a controversial issue again. You know, this man always goes into his archives to bring something new.
The professor. The professor
to
of
bring
football.
something new. And then whatever he brings out becomes controversial. He says it is time we allow referees to explain their decisions after a match. What do you think about that?
No, you see,
because for me, I think the harm has already been done. So is there the need for you to explain
But
anything?
for someone who has been dealt several blows at the hand of referees, I mean, come on, the 2006 Champions League against Chelsea, Eto's offside.
Final against
Barcelona, sorry. And then you and I were discussing, I think a couple of days ago or so, when in 2000 and, I don't remember, I think 2014, 15 or 16 thereabout, when Oxlade-Chamberlain brought down a player, and Mike Dean was supposed to show Oxlade-Chamberlain a red card, but instead he showed Gibbs.
Yeah,
Kieran Gibbs, who was a defender, and then that led to Arsenal losing a defender. Meanwhile, Arsenal had already exhausted their 3 changes, and Chelsea came out on top 6-3. Okay, so he's been someone who has been dealt several blows against Chelsea. So this might probably be something from his passion or feeling, okay, and hasn't wanted to happen. Of course, it won't bring anything, but then it will make the referees are not gods. They have to take responsibility for their decisions. Okay, they have to be responsible for their decisions, even though it might not come. Now, if every referee is allowed to explain their decision after the game, then the referees will be very conscious. They'll know that, okay, so if I make this bad decision, I would have to respond to the whole world. So I have to make a good decision so I don't have to face that challenge. Okay, so I think it's good. The harm has already been caused, would have already been caused, but then it would put referees on their toes. Because, I mean, no referee wants to come and explain why he made a bad decision. No one wants to do that. Okay, and then you make a fool out of yourself. So I think it's a good way of making referees take responsibility of their own decisions, bad decisions.
I don't think it's a good idea, because
I think it's a great idea.
Because after the game, okay, fine, like your scenario, the scenario you are given. Okay, you gave the wrong player the yellow card, and the player ended up getting 2 yellow cards, and then he was red carded. He went out, and then you gave advantage to the opponent or opposing team, and they won the game.
You see, that's the thing.
So after the game, you are here to explain.
No, it's a preventive measure.
Okay,
it's a preventive measure for referees not to engage in several bad decisions.
I think the referees will agree to this.
Exactly, because referees are biased all the time.
Yeah,
referees are biased, so they won't agree. But this is something that will make referees be less biased. Okay, it will make them be on their toes. It will make them make right decisions. Now,
look at the game between Juve and then AS Roma. AS Roma scored a goal, but the referee said it was a penalty. Yeah. So he gave penalty instead of the goal, and then AS Roma squandered the penalty. So they were saying he should have allowed the advantage.
Yeah.
And then give the goal. If you want to punish the player, you give him the yellow card after. Similar incidents between Ghana and Uruguay.
Yeah, exactly.
But we have made so much advances so many advancements have been made as far as football is concerned. So we were not expecting incidents of such nature.
Yes. Now, so this Wenger issue, okay, what people are not getting is that he is not saying that, okay, well, referees go make bad decisions, come and explain. He is putting this in place so that referees will make lesser bad decisions. Okay. Now let's look at last season, Firmino versus Aston Villa. He scored, the referee disallowed it. You remember? And they called it the armpits offside. Now, that decision, for instance, if the referee knew that he was going to explain, he was going to face the public and explain, he wouldn't disallow that goal. It was obviously a bad decision. He wouldn't disallow it. He would not. Because these referees, this season, for instance, they've been given so much power. They've been asked to use their own discretion to judge when a player, whether maybe it was like 50-50 on 50-50 balls. A referee could say this is a penalty or this is a foul or a card offense. Another referee would say, voila, because they've been given that free range to operate. But now, because of this Wenger initiative, now referees, even though they are supposed to use their own discretion, they'll use it wisely, they'll use it judiciously. They're not going to use anyhow and be biased. Because the thing is that it's preventive. If you and I know that we are going to face backlash or questioning from the public, the media, the public, we wouldn't make those bad decisions because we don't want to face them. So that's why Wenger brought this initiative. I mean, definitely referees will make bad decisions. The explanation won't bring the thing back. It won't bring the scores back. Okay, if the team lost, okay,
but
because
the media and the public you are going to face alone should
that would make sure that you want to make the right decision. So when you face them, you don't face any backlash.
Yeah. Well, so let's see if because let's see if they're going to bring that initiation. But even before this one, Wenger was even talking about the use of technology to detect offside in our games. You know, already we have this goal line technology detecting goals, balls that have gone that have all their circumferences going past the goal line. You know, we have a lot of instances. Sometimes you'll be watching the screens and you see that the ball has crossed the line. Has way crossed the line, but the referee would say no, it's not a goal.
Ronaldo against Luxembourg, a couple of months ago.
So I think they brought the goal line technology.
And Lampard against Germany.
Lampard against Germany. So they brought the goal line technology. So I think it's been successful. The goal line technology has been successful.
It's been successful, but against referees use their own discretion. Like I said, a couple of months ago, Ronaldo qualifies to the World Cup against Luxembourg or so. The ball, the whole circumference of the ball crossed the line. Referee says no goal.
Well, so let's see what.
But with this technology, I think it will help. Now let's look at it from this angle. Okay, initially I thought, well, so it's going to delay football, but actually I think it will help. VAR delays football because they would have to wait for the VAR to be checked, blah blah blah, or they'll be playing everywhere. Let's go back. But then this technology, right? This is what it's going to do. So it says the VAR delays games, but this is a fully automated system that would notify the assistant referee when a player is offside. So it happens instantaneously.
Okay.
So there's no need to referee do this and then players wait for the outcome. No, as soon as it's a motion detector. So as soon as the player crosses the line, it detects it and then it notifies the referee, and then they take the offside. The referee doesn't have to consult to any VAR. So and it also uses automated ball detection, limb tracking, and further algorithms. Okay, so that's it's going to make the football fluid.
Update,
yes.
Bayern Munich scored, but the VAR disallowed the goal.
Okay.
The VAR disallowed the goal. Still it's 0-0 between. I think Benfica is doing well because
they're
playing against
Bayern Munich.
They're still goalless till now. They are playing at home. Remember they thrashed Barcelona.
Oh yeah.
At the Camp Nou, right? By three goals. Was it Camp Nou? Yeah. So I think the goal has been disallowed, and then Chelsea has scored the fourth goal. Manchester United have had an equalizer. They have equalized one out of the two.
Oh.
The 2 goals, so they are now down by 2-1, and then
3-1 or 2?
2-1.
Oh,
it's
okay.
Still 2-1.
Okay.
And then, but earlier, like we said, Barcelona has won by a lone goal. Well, so you can see that this technology is coming to help. It's really going to help.
It's
going to reduce the controversies that are attached to.
And now offside is not going to be at the discretion of the referee.
No more referee.
Exactly. Because I mean,
but why can't VAR detect this offside? Because
you see, the
we
thing is
stop
that
it.
the VAR, the referee would go and look at the VAR and he will still say no. You see,
but we have referees in the room.
But they do not make the decision. They recommend. They tell the referee that okay, so this is that. So let's go back to the example I gave. Firmino against Aston Villa. They call it armpit offside. Now they said it's armpit, right? His armpit was ahead of the knee of the Aston Villa defender. Okay. Now, so what the VAR referee will do, the VAR attendant or referee will do is okay. So he crossed the red line. He crossed the red line. He didn't meet the blue line, etc. So we think it's an offside. And now the referee himself could take that decision. But now, do you understand why the referees sometimes go to the touchline to view themselves? Because they want to make their own decisions. So what the VAR referee the referee in the VAR room does it. He recommends to the referee, and now the referee can decide to take that recommendation or advice or go to the screen and look at it himself. So that's why referees run to the touchline to go and look at it themselves, and then they decide based on their own discretion. Of course, advised by the VAR that they saw to give the decision whether penalty, offside or not, or a red card or not. So VAR, even though it's a VAR, the referees are still the ones who will play the VAR, who go and view the VAR and say, okay, I'll give the penalty or not. But this one is no referee's decision. It's just like goal line technology. Once it crosses the line, it's done. Once it crosses the line, it's done. So that's the same about for this offside technology. Once the ball detector detects, or the motion detector detects that this person has crossed the line, that is it. So the referee doesn't have his discretion to say, okay, it's not an offside, even though when it's an offside. So I think it's good. And it's also cut down cost. VAR is very expensive. Apparently, VAR is like really, really expensive. So this will cut down cost. And also reduce the time wastage. Because VAR, you and I will agree, wastes a lot of time.
Well, VAR wastes a lot of time. Yeah. Well, so I think it's a good one because it's going to make the game flow, right? But, even with the VAR, there are instances where referees have some controversial, I think, moments on the pitch. They don't look at the screen. They only listen to the VAR. Exactly. And then they take the decision. So they haven't been to the screens, but they still take the decision from what the VAR
gives. So that's what I was explaining that from the VAR
that
room.
If they feel the VAR is sure.
So there's another referee. We used to have fourth officials, but now I think we have fifth also officials who are sitting behind the computer, the VAR computers. And then they will tell the referee, okay, we've analyzed the video, we've slowed it down, we've watched from all angles, and it was a penalty or not a penalty. And they would say that to the referee. But if the referee is not satisfied with that decision, that's when he would go to the touchline and view the screen. Do you get it? So that's when the referee will go to the touchline and view the screen. So I think the VAR, it still has flaws because it's the referee who would determine whether after viewing the VAR to give the penalty or offside or not to give it. So this one, the referee has nothing to do with it. It's a motion technology. Once the technology detects that the person is offside, the The referee has nothing to do about it.
Oh, then that's good. I think it's coming to do football.
They actually wanted to try it in the Chinese Super League to test it, but then hopefully in Qatar 2020 we'll see where.
Hopefully in Qatar 2020. Are they coming to experiment it in
So
Qatar
they wanted
2020?
to experiment it in the Chinese
league.
Do you
think it's ideal for them to experiment it in the World Cup?
No, they are not experimenting in the World Cup. They are going to experiment it in the Chinese league. So they use one of the lower Chinese leagues to experiment it. And that's where they'll make it better for the Super Cup. And if we were going to play the Confederations Cup, they would have used the Confederations Cup. But we are no more playing the Confederations Cup. So they are going to use the Chinese league, one of the lower Chinese leagues, to experiment it, make it better, and then it would be full-fledged use in the
but this Confederation Cup is good they even stopped it, because you see teams like Tahiti came playing against Brazil,
Yeah, and it's not even fair to the
because I think it should be this way. If you want to play a Confederations league, select the best players from the African continent. Go to the American continent. Go to the European, just to give it, if you want to
like Africa 11,
Africa 11, Europe 11,
11,
America 11, Asia 11. So when they come and they are playing, you see the stars. We see them.
And then it's not fair to the teams that go to play, because let's say you are playing Confederations Cup and then your players get injured, long-term injury. They are going to miss the World Cup, so it's going to go against you. So I think it's best they pick like maybe Africa 11, like how they do, like Africa World 11, Africa 11, Classic 11, etc. to play those leagues. But I mean, it was useless. It's good they ended it.
because I don't really know what they seek to achieve.
Yeah.
Playing the
No one really watches Confederation
because well, sometimes you want to watch because
so it's like the Club World Cup. So so they stopped that to promote the Club World Cup. So Confederations Cup is just like the Club World Cup, except it's for countries. So the countries that win their various confederations, like African Confederation, etc., they come to play, just like the Club World Cup. Those who win the CAF, those who win the UEFA Champions League, all those, and then they come to play. So it's just similar, but just useless, in my opinion.
Similar but useless.
Yeah.
Similar but useless. All right, so if you are still watching, this is ADINKRA Sports Update on ADINKRA TV and ADINKRA Radio. So you are watching us live on Facebook on ADINKRA Radio NY, and then live on YouTube on ADINKRA TV NY. So we were talking about footballing issues, and then we were talking about Arsene Wenger's initiatives, which includes the use of technology to detect offside in the subsequent years, right? In the subsequent years, it's going. Technology is integrated in everything nowadays. We cannot do without technology.
See, there's this
technology is the wheel now.
Is it a coach? I've forgotten who, but he made a recommendation. I think it's is it Carragher or someone? Carragher or Gary Neville, one of them. Maybe not, but then it was. So you see how the NFL, the coaches communicate to the players on the field. They have this earpiece in their helmets, etc., with notes. They actually have notes, not earpiece. They have notes written on their something put in their arms. The person was suggesting that we do same with football or soccer in this instance. And so I mean, eventually, technology would be fully integrated into all sort of sports. It's not something we can get rid of. It's going to happen.
It's not something we can get rid of. Mm-hmm. All right. So technology is not something we can get rid of. So we are still giving you updates with regards to the games that are being played, the Champions League games. We still have Benfica and then Bayern Munich goalless. We have Bayern Munich scored, but it was disallowed by the VAR, and then we have Manchester United still trailing by 1-2, and we are at the 70th minute mark, and then Chelsea is leading by 4-0. We have Juventus and Zenit is still goalless, and then we have Barcelona winning earlier by a lone goal. Now let's look at the groups. I think Group A. Looking at Group A. Is it Group A?
Mm-hmm. That's PSG's group?
PSG's group, yeah. Group A. This is the table. Now, PSG is leading the group with 7 points, followed by Manchester City, 6 points. And then Club Brugge is there with 4 points, and then Leipzig has 0 points. Which team do you think will make the group?
PSG and Man City.
PSG and Man City. And then which team will top the group? You think? Because I think next week, the next games will be between.
Yeah, the decision. Okay, the leader of the group will be decided after PSG meets Man City for the second leg.
Right?
Yeah,
but obviously the two teams
will progress.
The two teams, and then the group involving Liverpool and then Atletico Madrid.
Liverpool is already gone. They will top the league.
I think they won.
Porto and Atletico is going to be. It's going to be hard to tell as of now because they have the same points, and then they are still performing almost similar. Yeah. So yeah.
But which one would you take between Porto and Atletico?
Atletico.
Atletico will progress.
Yes.
All right. So let's go to the next group involving Ajax and then Borussia Dortmund. What's happening?
Well, Dortmund are doing what they do best. I mean, they just weren't. Ajax just outclassed them. Ajax outclassed them last night.
I think Ajax has started something that we should look at, right?
Ajax outclassed them last night, and the two of them will progress.
Ajax are gone. They have 9 points.
Yeah.
And then Dortmund 6 points. So, but Sporting went to beat Besiktas, so Sporting has a game with Dortmund.
But I mean, Dortmund is going to be Sporting.
Really?
Yeah. Sporting will go to the Europa.
Really?
Oh yeah, they will go to the Europa.
They'll go to Europa.
Mm-hmm.
And then
that's where they belong.
Sheriff refused to surprise this time around?
Well,
they had a good game.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bad game.
Yeah. But, I mean, they beat Real Madrid. It's something they can write home about. So, yeah.
Because they had it wasn't and then that Ghanaian international, Edmondado.
Mm-hmm. I didn't see the match, so I didn't see his performance. But then
Edmond has been so exceptional
I've read so much about
in
him.
the games that Sheriff have played so far. He's been so good. So far, Sheriff is still leading the table with 6 points. And the Real Madrid is second with 6 points.
But I mean, Real Madrid will beat them the second leg.
The second leg.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
and then they're only leading because of head-to-head.
Yeah, which team do you tip? You tip Madrid and Inter to go through?
Yeah, I tip Madrid and Inter.
Sheriff cannot make it?
Sheriff would have to beat Inter to make it.
But Madrid have them to beat. Madrid
will beat them. Madrid will beat them.
Really?
Madrid will beat them. But then if Sheriff beats Inter,
do you know when
they stand a chance.
Sheriff didn't beat Madrid when Madrid is not performing.
No, Madrid performed.
Madrid leading the league.
Madrid underestimated Sheriff. Everyone underestimated. Madrid underestimated them. But they are not going to do that mistake anymore.
Really?
They're not going to repeat that mistake. No. I mean, come on. You've seen Madrid. You've seen Madrid play now.
Yeah. Okay.
They just underestimated Madrid. Sheriff.
Let's see. Let's see what happens, because it's teams. Now the difference between teams is too.
Yeah. The thing is, it's actually too early to call. It's still first leg. Let's get into the second legs, and then that's when you'll be able to call. It's still early to call. Man United is trailing their league right now, their table. But you can't boldly say United will not qualify or even go to the Europa. So let's get to the second leg. I think that is where, if you go to Group F, United is trailing the league, the table. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we can't boldly say United would not qualify to even Europa. I mean, we can't say that, even though I wish they wouldn't. But, yes. So once we get to the second leg, which I think begins from next week, right?
Yeah. If not next week, the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. So 2 weeks. Yeah, that is when we could actually boldly decide on. Aside those who are having the 9 points, some of these teams are gone. But those who are having the 4s and 6, let's get to the second leg. That's when I would be comfortable.
Do you think after this game, Ole should be sacked?
And then what will change?
The way you side and then you lean.
Yeah, who will come? Yeah, but I don't think it's about sacking Ole as at now. Because, I don't think it's... I think...
already the fans have divided into two. Yeah. We have Ole in and Ole out.
Well, if it were me, I would give him till December.
Till December. But the team keeps sinking and sinking and sinking. You see, the football nowadays is so demanding.
Exactly. It's demanding.
The fans want results,
The fans, well, that's true. You're right. But the thing is, Ole doesn't know what to do with the players he has right now. He's not performing. For me, he's not performing.
But he said
he's not performing.
The owners believe in his
that's what
philosophy. So they are still giving him the chance to perform.
But he's not.
They said Alex didn't start Rosie.
So the reason why I said so is that there's actually
and they said club spends 4 seasons.
There's actually a newspaper
trophyless
from when Ferguson's first Sir Alex Ferguson's first couple of years when he started with Manchester, and then sack Alex Ferguson out. That was it. But then look at what he turned out to be. But football is not as it used to be. It's very demanding right now. Okay, you can't just say we should give you years. At the time, Liverpool was already at the bottom when Klopp came. They weren't even playing in Europa. But Manchester is playing in Champions League. So there are differences. Liverpool at the time when Klopp came were not even in Europa. If you remember, they were playing 16, 8, 9, 10 in the league, 14 in the league. So they were already at the bottom. So when Klopp wasn't performing, you couldn't say... He actually took them to Europa and the Champions League. So you couldn't say Klopp wasn't performing.
You could see that Klopp was... You could see some...
he was gradually building.
Some improvements year after year. You could see that Liverpool is bent on something. Mm-hmm. And then can you tell the identity of Manchester's play?
No.
Can you... Because
what I'm saying is that...
If you look at Chelsea, Chelsea is playing towards this pattern. You see Liverpool play, Manchester City, you see Guardiola playing. But when Manchester United is playing,
there's nothing.
It's like Frefre Kobo.
Yeah, there's nothing. What I think is he should build it. You see, there are certain players, you build team around them, they perform for you. But you can't just say you want Mason Greenwood to go at par head to head with Ronaldo. No. This is what he does. That's what Ronaldo does. Build the team around him. He will deliver for you. He did it with Real Madrid. He did it with Juventus, even when he was 35 years old. He did it for Juventus. Build a team around him, he will perform. Go to how do you call it? Chelsea, for instance. That's what probably are supposed to do with Lukaku, but I don't know why it's not working. But for me, that's what I think. I think United should build a team. He should build a formidable team. Put Ronaldo out there, let them supply him, and he will score. So far, he showed that he could do it. Once they supply him, he scores.
Because after this game, coming Saturday or Sunday, they are playing against Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
And you need a win in this game to gather the momentum into the next game. Because honestly, if they lose this game, I think they have scored. Manchester United have scored.
So 2-2
so
now.
it's 2-2 now. It's 2-2 now. That's good. Because if they lose this game, they're always going to lose the dressing room. Ole is going to lose the dressing room.
Yeah, 2-2 now. Harry Maguire.
Ole is going to lose the dressing room.
And Bayern has scored now.
Bayern has also scored. Yeah.
So they actually scored 2 disallowed goals.
2 disallowed
Before
goals.
Leroy Sané just scored.
So you think Ole should go?
Well, he's not performing. Ole is not performing. He's not performing. I mean, he doesn't know what to do with the team. He has the players. I mean, look at Sancho. I mean, look at Van de Beek. Like, come on. This guy is great. He's good. He moves the ball forward. Okay, these are people you should give them chances. But I think Ole doesn't know what to do. He should go. Yeah, I think I take my words back. He should go. He's got a team. Yeah.
And then I think before we even continue with the Champions League, I think today officially Steve Bruce lost his job as Newcastle United manager. Mm-hmm. You know, I think they said it was mutual consent.
Yeah, I mean, it was said like 2 weeks ago.
But it was obvious. Everybody was waiting for this to happen.
They said it.
Because
and
nobody expected Bruce to stay.
He penned down a very emotional message. Yeah, about
but
how...
they said they could have sacked him earlier, but they wanted him to... They wanted to honor him to play his 1000th game.
Yeah. And then Maximilian actually even also penned down a very emotional message, goodbye message for Steve Bruce. Because, I mean, Steve Bruce gave him the chance. So, yeah. And then he says he doesn't think he'll probably be coaching anytime soon or anymore. Because of the abuse has, like, taken a toll not just on him, but his family also.
Come on, how come a coach who has played over 1,000 games be subjected to such abuse? I just don't get it.
I mean, yeah, and he's over 60 years old now, so he thinks he wants to spend time with his family. But then he ended
in the Premier League. Come on.
He ended by saying that, well, he doesn't think he'll get back to the job, but you never know. When a manager calls you from somewhere, like when a team manager or director calls you, sometimes you can't say no. So let's see what the future holds. And
then with Newcastle United, do you think they will survive the league to pump in the cash since now they have the money?
Well, I mean, right now.
Because last Saturday when they were playing, or was it Sunday, against Tottenham, when they were playing, they lost about 2-3. Yeah,
but I mean, it's still the same players. They haven't bought the players yet, so they now have money to buy players.
The new CEO was there, and you could see that he was not happy, you know.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's still Newcastle, even though there's money. They can't do anything with the money now because they can't buy players today and tomorrow.
Because
they have to wait for the subsequent transfer
even if the January transfer window wouldn't help them, because nobody will release his best player to you.
Yeah, but what they could do is they could do what maybe Leeds did. They could buy some maybe other smaller players who would help them. Not necessarily Champions League players who want to play in the Champions League. Right now, every player wants to play in Newcastle. Every small player would want to because there's money. So you could go and get like players from smaller teams who are good and can help you.
Or they can do this. You know, there are players who have performed and now they are losing it now. Mm-hmm. So you can use them because they have done it before.
Exactly.
Somebody like Philippe Coutinho.
Exactly.
You can get Philippe Coutinho from Barcelona. Exactly, yeah. He's going to help you.
That's
Someone Umtiti from Barcelona is going to help you. You know, you go to...
There are players like that everywhere.
Clubs, you know, Victor Moses, you can use him. You know, those players have done it before.
I'm sure even Alexis Sanchez. Go and get these players.
When you are able to blend these players together, they have some...
Is Fabregas still playing?
No.
He stopped from Monaco. He left Monaco.
They have some kind of, you know, experience and then quality that they can, I think.
Yeah, so at least these players,
you get.
with their experience, they could help you escape relegation. And then in the big transfer window, you get like the quality
But
players.
I don't think it's still.
No, it won't take. You see, the thing is, it won't be overnight. So you go and get these players now. They will,
because if you have a player and you have Newcastle, you have Chelsea. The player will opt for Chelsea.
Yes, for now the player will opt for Chelsea. That's why you need to get these Coutinhos and Sanchez's to at least take you to Europa, and then that is when you will be able to attract these players. And with money they will come. Trust me, with money they will come.
Okay, now people are playing.
With money they will come. Yeah,
they are playing for money. No,
with money they will come.
Everybody gets a private jet. You know, you count your money, private jet. You have one Lamborghini gelato.
With money, they'll come. They should go and get Aubameyang. They should go and get Aubameyang.
Aubameyang is Arsenal's asset. Arsenal is not selling it.
They should go and get
Aubameyang is just like he's Ole of Arsenal.
He's waste now. He's away. He's waste.
He's the Ole of Arsenal. You know, Aubameyang.
Manchester United 3-2.
Wow, Manchester United have scored.
Yeah, 3-2. Cristiano Ronaldo, of course.
Cristiano Ronaldo. I think your player Harry Maguire.
He equalized.
Yeah. And Cristiano Ronaldo.
That's quite a comeback for United.
Now, you know, with this scoreline, I know Manchester fans who are not happy with this scoreline.
Oh yeah. I mean, you don't have to. Because a comeback isn't a good scoreline.
No. Yeah. It's not even about a comeback. They want to lose so that Ole leaves the team.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
So Manchester United fans are not happy with this scoreline. Because if he wins like this, it gives him some grounds. It even gives, honestly, the Glazers are not ready to get a new coach. They still want to use this man. Because they don't want to be pumping money like, if Antonio Conte comes today, he's going to demand. Antonio Conte, if he tells you he wants this and you don't give him, he will leave your team.
He'll leave.
He will leave your team. Zinedine Zidane will come, but he will charge you. You'll not be taking not less than, let's say, 15 million or 20 million euros a year. He will charge. I don't think Ole is taking much. So he's not leaving anytime soon. And then with this win, he's going to gain some ground.
Yeah. I told you guys that before. My philosophy is working.
He's going to gain some ground. And then, we always say, even though they have won, look at the game against Villarreal. They won that game by 2-1. But
it was tight.
If you look at the game, it is not fair Manchester United won the game.
Yeah.
It was not fair.
Yeah.
The
best team lost.
There were moments of individual brilliance by the player. They have quality players, but they are not playing as a team. So when the individual brilliance come in, Ronaldo will give you a goal. Bruno Fernandes will do some magic here and there. Even Mason Greenwood. But playing together as a collective team, that is Manchester United's problem.
Yeah.
The midfield is not clicking. You don't see a link between the midfield and the attack. No.
That's all I've been saying.
A link between the midfield and the
defense.
That's all I've been saying. So you could get a very good. Even their matches, the year was their man of the match because he had to save them. Even the last game against Leicester, I did not been for this year, they would have considered like 6 to 7 goals.
So right now, United is on top of their table.
United is on top of the table with 6 points. Atalanta is second with 4
So you see what I was saying? That is too early to call.
Yeah. Well, some groups are open already.
Yeah, some groups are already open.
Yeah. All right, we're still on ADINKRA Sports Update. ADINKRA Sports Update. Today is a Champions League day, As the show goes on, we will still be giving you the updates of the games that are being played. Already we have some score lines. Manchester United, I think there was a comeback after 2 goals down. They have been able to fight back. That's the fighting spirit, Now they are leading by 3-2. As at minute the 70th minute, Bayern Munich and Benfica was goalless, but it's 83rd minute now. Bayern Munich is leading by 3-0. 3-0.
What?
Bayern is leading by 3-0.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Bayern is leading by 3-0 right now. And then Villarreal is leading Young Boys by 2-1. 2-1. So many. And Juventus has scored against Zenit. So now on the 87th minute, it's now 87th, and then Juventus is leading by a lone goal. Chelsea is still leading by 4-0. And then we have FC Salzburg has won against Wolfsburg by 3-1. 3-1. So that is what we have right now. Yeah. This is sports update. The discussions are still going on. Today it's getting so interactive than never before. So educative too. So we are still giving you the info as and when it drops. Very soon we'll be drawing the curtains for today's session of sports update. But before then, we still want to take a look at what is happening in the world of soccer as far as the Champions League is concerned. Yesterday, some games were played, like I said earlier, so I want us to go through them quickly. And then after, we look at what is happening today. And then finally, we take our final message from our guest. And then we call it an end for the day. So yesterday, Club Brugge 1, Manchester City 5. They lost to Manchester City by 5-1 at home. PSG won by 3-2. Atletico Madrid lost by 2-3 against Liverpool. FC Porto won by 1-0 against AC Milan with that controversial goal. And then we had Ajax Amsterdam beating Dortmund by 4-0. Inter Milan 3, FC Sheriff 1, Shakhtar Donetsk 0, Real Madrid 5. And then today the games are still going on, and then we have already earlier Barca won by 1-0 against Dynamo Kiev. Benfica is 0. Now Bayern Munich have scored the 4th goal, so Bayern Munich is leading by 4-0 against Benfica. Now I think Bayern Munich is just flowing. And the Manchester United is still leading by 3-2. After that, come back, and the Young Boys 1, Villarreal 2. FC Salzburg 3, Wolfsburg 1, and then Lille 0, Sevilla 0. Chelsea is also leading by 4-0 against Malmo FF, and Juventus has scored against Zenit, so 1-0 in favor of Juventus. Mr. Angwa.
Yeah.
All too soon we are coming to the end of today's show.
All good things come to an end.
Yeah, whatever starts surely must end. Yeah. But
I mean, like I said, this is the first of many. Yeah, this is the first of many. We'll have several opportunities.
All right. So he is promising us that you'll be coming. Today is just the first time, and then you'll be seeing more and more of Mr. Angwa in our subsequent shows. Yeah. So your final take on what we have so far. Final.
Okay. So what I want to leave with our listeners and viewers is some players that are like African players that are actually performing out there today. What's he called? Patson Daka scored 4.
Patson Daka.
Patson Daka.
He's from which
Zambia.
He's from Zambia.
Yeah, he scored 4.
4 goals.
Yeah, Leicester won by 4 goals to 3.
His Champions League debut.
No, Europa.
Yeah, Europa.
Yeah, and then also when we talk about football, we only focus on men's football. But I want us to look at Jennifer Kujo. She's a Ghanaian lady playing in the UN Women's Soccer League here, and then she's performing. She's like the anchor to it. She's like the Kante to Chelsea.
Really?
Yeah, last season, like Kante to Chelsea last season, and then she's someone that I want our viewers to look out for. Yeah, and also I already mentioned Benjamin Tete, and so these are people that I want our viewers and listeners to look out for. They are doing really great out there.
Benjamin Tete, and then
Jennifer Kujo, and Patson Daka.
And then do you have some people who want to give some shout outs to?
I mean, everyone who viewed this, everyone that I invited to watch, and all those who watched, all our listeners and the viewers, I want to give a shout out to everyone, and keep supporting this program. And then it's Mondays, every Monday, 12 p.m. Eastern time, and then Wednesdays same time Eastern time. So I wonder Wednesdays 5 p.m. Eastern time. So I want everyone to pay attention to these timings and then watch this show. It's going to be the biggest sports show you'll find in the diaspora. Thank you.
It's going to be the biggest sports show we'll find in the diaspora. On Facebook, we have some comments on Facebook. And then we have somebody who's, I think he's trying to correct us, from Samuel Lasse. He said the second goalkeeper from the local front called up to the Black Stars once was Fatau Dauda.
Fatau Dauda. Thank you.
Fatau Dauda.
Thank you. So that's, I told you there was one other goalkeeper.
Yeah, Fatau Dauda.
And then from there, he went to South Africa.
Yeah, he moved from the local straight into the Black Stars.
Yes.
And I think there was some squabbles between him and Kwarase.
Yeah.
Kwarase, yeah.
Thank you, Samuel Lasse.
That's famous, I think, game against Cristiano Ronaldo, when he said he's going to start Cristiano Ronaldo. In the World Cup 2014.
2014, yes.
2014. And then we have Nanadra also saying, can Chelsea qualify or we should go back to Hebrews?
I think Chelsea has already qualified. They will qualify.
Chelsea has already qualified.
They will qualify.
So you are not going back to Hebrews.
Chelsea is qualifying.
You are not going back to Hebrews. So Chelsea stands a chance to qualify to the next. I think they can even top the group. But so far, I think Juventus is still leading the group.
Yeah.
Juventus has scored. Against Zenit St. Petersburg. All right, so all too soon, we have come to an end of another edition of Sports Update on ADINKRA TV NY and ADINKRA Radio NY. My name is Nina Maxwell. I am your humble host. You can call me NNM. So until then, like I always say, until humanity is touched, we can never be happy. See you next week. Bye-bye.